Hey, this is Dan Brzezowski, and you found the No Comfort Zone podcast. Today's episode, I'm going to be talking about bullies. I hope you enjoy the show.
Welcome.
Attention, please.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome to the No Comfort Zone podcast. It's time to get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose. Broadcasting to the world from Rockford, Illinois. This is your wake-up call.
Warning.
You are the solutions to all your problems. Stop thinking average. Become the hero version of yourself. Every day, every time, without fail, no exceptions. It all matters. You've entered the No Comfort Zone. It's time for a reality check.
Whether you know it or not, I actually have a coach. I have somebody that I go to help me stay accountable to my goals, to help me avoid landmines that will prevent me from getting where I want to go, and more importantly, insight as to I want to accomplish what this person's accomplished, but I want to do it my own way with their help. So that's why I have a coach, and that's why you should get one too. If you're looking to go from point A to point B, you got problems to solve, you have goals that need to be had, do me a favor, go to launchwithdan.com. It's my intention to help you get out of adversity, go towards your goal, and start living a life on purpose. But you first have to do the call to action. Go to launchwithdan.com and get on my calendar so that I can call you and we can have a constructive conversation about laying a foundation towards your goals. I just want to help you, man. That's all it comes down to. Somebody's helping me and I'm grateful for it. I would like to help you and I'd like you to accomplish your goals, your dreams, your hopes, and your ambitions. On with the show. So check this out. So he posts something recently. His name's Sam Crowley, by the way, #1 motivational podcaster on planet Earth in this galaxy. He's a great guy. I've got a chance to work with him for the past 1.5 to 2 years. And I'm really glad that I crossed paths with him. And he brought up something today that, you know, if you have something that you want to talk about on your podcast, and if it's off subject, talk about it. There's an audience out there, 6,000 new listeners last month. Very grateful for that. That was pretty nice to see. And I'm very excited to keep this thing growing. Today, I'm going to switch gears up a little bit, talk a little bit about life. A little bit about life and when it comes to bullying. Whether you are a bully or you've been bullied, it's not a good place to be. And here's my take on it. His daughter, I guess, is being bullied. And he's frustrated as a dad dealing with it and not knowing what to do. And it's a hard place. So I wanted to talk about that for a minute because when I was a kid, I mean, could you imagine super blonde hair, towhead is what they used to call me, blue eyes, and I was amazingly adorable as a kid. I was an easy target, man. My blonde hair, I got picked on so much. In case you don't know this, I'm completely bald now. Go figure. But at the time, man, I used to get teased mercilessly for my blonde hair. And it's funny, but it used to affect me big time. It used to bother me so much that people would pay so much attention and ridicule and criticize me and make fun of. I also had a father who, my dad, Bernard R. Brzezowski, he had a terrible stuttering problem. He was such a great guy, such a strong work ethic, such tough as nails kind of a guy. But his stutter was horrible. And, you know, I used to get teased for his stutter constantly and would get into physical fistfights with kids because they would pick on me so much and start mimicking my dad stuttering to me because he was very involved in the church and he was very involved in our schooling. He did so many great things for that school. He's a guy who got personal computers donated through charity to the school system. He did fundraising events that were amazing. Started a women's basketball league or girls basketball league within the school. Just a great guy. I mean, really gave of himself to help the community and help the kids. And remember, I'm adopted by him and my mother. So the difficulty I had being bullied by my last name, Brzezowski, Brzezowski, the difficulty I had with being teased for my blonde hair, difficulty being adopted, difficulty with my dad's stutter, difficulty with sometimes being lower middle class. It was just tough, man. What I'm going to tell you is that at some point, and I don't know when, I just had enough. I just had so much. I was enough about being teased about where we buy our clothes. You know, we had hand-me-downs, we had secondhand clothes, we had some cheaper, not designer, I guess you'd call it, clothes. It was just the way it was. It was not a big deal, but I was sensitive to it. And what we ended up doing was I got picked on quite a bit. So finally, I just got to a point in my little life at that time, I'm not going to get picked on anymore. So I started standing up to everybody. I became thirsty for that type of vengeance. And I had a name for myself. I was a little scrapper. And it was an interesting time. I just want to tell you that, because I was afraid of everyone. I mean, so shy of everyone, but just enough is enough. And when you poke somebody long enough, they're going to bite back. And when I bit back, it was pretty hard. I just would get into a lot of different types of altercations. I remember one in my neighborhood, there was a fist fight, back and forth, throwing each other, punching each other. I would say for it got to be 2 hours, where I was so exhausted after fighting David Rosenberg. And if you're out there, thank you very much. You've defined who I am today based on that 4-hour fight I think we were in. And it was horrible. I mean, it started out, we were friends, and next thing you know, we're slugging away at each other. I was getting teased and I was getting beat for 4 hours, but I wouldn't quit. And from that day moving forward, I gained respect from a lot of different people and forged a lot of friendships at a very young age, because I just wouldn't back down, so much that my dad had to come pick me up after he got home from work. My brother ran home to go get me because the whole neighborhood was involved. True story. And I got picked up, put in the car, and boy, I'll tell you what, I didn't give up. And after 4 hours of basically getting my ass beat, that's the way it was. But I didn't back down. And I realized too that most people, when you stand up to them, back down. David Rosenberg didn't know. But the fact is that I did stand up for myself. And ever since then, I've always been standing up for myself, except when it came to opposite sex relationships, my ex-wives. I had the hardest time in the world standing up to them, but now I'm okay. Life's a little bit different, so I don't have to worry about that. But man, they were brutal. But talking about bullying, man, I've definitely had to face my share of bullying, and also had to stop bullies. Believe it or not, some of the worst bullies I've ever met, shocking story, were guys in boot camp in the Marines. And some of the guys that I have friends with then, they were picking on the junior, the weaker guys in the group. And if you've been in the Marines, maybe this had happened to you. But somebody was getting ready to do a blanket party for somebody, and me and some of the other guys were just like, this is nonsense. We're not going to let this happen. And stood up to them. And it's funny, the bullies were the minority, just so you know. And that's how it is in life. They're not the majority. The bullies are the minorities. And they're bullies for a reason. And when you can identify what those bullies are, boy, life's a lot different. When you stand up to them, man, they're just non-existent. Standing up to a bully is the best thing in life, because it shows you what you got, shows you who you are, and also it gives you the potential of what you could be. It ties very well into the No Comfort Zone Launch with Dan.com podcast. Sam's problem is that he has a daughter who's being bullied. And my daughter was bullied. And when my daughter was bullied, I didn't know what was wrong with her. There was such a disconnect early in our relationship. It's my wife's daughter. I call her my daughter. She's my wife's daughter. And when she was 18, she actually adopted me. She took my name and said, basically, what I want to do is I want to be your daughter. But she was 18 already, so we went to the courthouse. We did a name change. And then shortly thereafter, my whole entire family welcomed her in as one of their own. And that's one of the special bonds that we have, because she chose to be a Brzezowski. She chose to be with me. And I just can't tell you enough. That's just, that'll send you back a few. Just to know where I've been and what I've gone through, to have somebody else say that they want to take on your name. They're a young lady who looks up to you. Wow, it just blew me away, because I didn't have a lot of self-worth 13, 14 years ago. I didn't want to stick around 13, 14 years ago. Just the problems and the consequences were so bad that I ended up facing it and getting through it. And now here's this wonderful gift of this 18-year-old who says, I want to take on your name and I want to be called your daughter. How huge is that? But when she was 14 and she was going through the drama and chaos of being bullied, I didn't know. I didn't know what was going on. And I just knew she was disconnecting. So my wife and I snuck on her computer, and then we realized that she was being bullied. And I couldn't believe the amount of shit she was taking from her peers, and how awful they were, and how backstabbing they were, and how when one would chime in, another would chime in. And this young lady was devastated and terrified to go to school, very alone on the weekends. Just, it was sad. It was all I can say. And she's such a great person. So it was so sad. But she rose up. She became better because of it. And in the end, I asked her, that I'm sorry that I couldn't do anything. I just didn't know what to do, because I wanted, scorched earth. I want to go after everybody to defend that this person's being bullied, and I want to stand up for this person as I've done for myself. But girls are different. You can't necessarily do that. I don't have an answer for you. I don't know what to do. But if you're a parent, your kids are being bullied, my daughter told me this. The best part about that time period, even though it was awful, was that I was always positive, and my daughter said she always knew she had access to us. We were always there for her in her corner. She knew that. So I guess as a parent, that's what you need to do. And if you're a young lady who's going through this, you can't squarely punch somebody in the mouth or get into fist fights to defend yourself. I don't know what to do, but I would say this. Find similar people and unite is what I would say. Just find similar people that are going through, because believe it or not, there's another young girl out there that's going through a hard time right there, and she might be a little younger than you. And what I would say to do is try to show them what's the right thing to do. Even though you might be going through hell yourself, try to find somebody that you can share this good information with, because in the end, it's going to develop good character. It's unfortunate that you're going through it now, and parents, if you're going through it, you know how hard it is. It makes you want to tear up. But, just be the rock, be that parent, do the right thing. It's so important. Be the right person for your kids. And the vendetta of going after bullies and looking for vengeance, I don't know that works. I don't know. I do know that communication and being close and having family dinners can help alleviate some of the pain of dealing with bullies. Yeah. So anyway, that's my podcast for today. I don't know if this served you in any way, shape, or form, but if you're being bullied out there, call a bully hotline. If you need help, I don't know what to do, but what I will say is go email me, Dan@the-No-Comfort-Zone, or whatever, and I'll try to direct you in the right way so that you can get some help with bullying. Because quite frankly, you don't need to be bullied. You know what? You're a good person, you're worthy, and you're worthwhile, and these people just don't know what they're doing. They think they do, but they don't understand. So anyway, I hope this podcast finds you well. Hope you're not being bullied, but if you are, please look for help. And if I need to be a resource for you, I'll try to direct you in the right way. But until then, realize this. There's a lot of great people out there who are looking to help you, and we've got your back, right? So until then, get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose.
Say goodbye.
Want more of the No Comfort Zone? You can follow Dan on Instagram and Twitter @NoComfortZone1.
Bye.
Or on the web at thenocomfortzone.com.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the No Comfort Zone podcast.